Hi guys, it's Michaela again, and I am back with another speed build. So for today's speed build, I decided to renovate another apartment, and I think renovating apartments is one of my favorite things to do in The Sims, like build wise. Like, I don't know, they're just so much fun, and there's so many different things that you could do, and you have like the same apartment, so it's like the same basic shape, but you can do so many different things on the inside to it, which I think is really cool. And City Living is one of my favorite packs. It's actually the first pack that I got after just having base game. So, I don't know, I think that's fun. And my inspiration for this apartment was I imagined that it was a single mom that had a teenage daughter. And I think I'm going to title this something along the lines of like Cluttered Single Mom Apartment or something like that. Because throughout this apartment, you'll see that I put tons and tons of clutter. And I tried to make it so it didn't make like a ton of sense. At least it didn't make sense to me. Maybe it does. And I don't know. I just got confused or something. But like you'll see in the corner of this little kitchen on the counters, I do put tons and tons of clutter. And really, I was just trying to add to the realism of it. I guess I did get a lot of inspiration from my own mother. As I was growing up, we lived in two different apartments. The first one until I was like age 11 or 12. And then we lived in the second one for about a year or so. So I would say for at least half of my life, I have lived in an apartment. Well, a couple of apartments. And I feel like in both of them, and even in the house we live in right now, we have a lot of clutter because my mom has way too much stuff. I have way too much stuff as well too. So no worries about that. But when you have so much stuff, like it doesn't make sense versus a lot of times when I do build in The Sims, I'm just like, okay, I'll put some clutter here, but then there's like a theme to the clutter. I don't know if that actually makes sense, but I just wanted to make this place like really realistic. And I imagine that the mom that lives here is probably very, very messy, and she doesn't really clean things up like after herself at all. And I think it would just be really hard being a single mom because then you don't have the support of another parent helping you out. So like if you're off to work, then you have to find like some daycare or someone to babysit your kid, and you don't have the support of like a partner or someone. Like, I don't know. My mom was a single mom and she managed it through. But like just imagining it and also imagining just how hard being a parent is sometimes. Like I have friends who have kids, and I can see how it can be quite difficult. And I couldn't imagine doing it alone. Although on the plus side, my mom said it was really nice doing it alone because then it was always her decisions, which I agree with that because I feel like when you're parenting a kid, then it can get pretty hard sometimes. And then if you don't agree with your partner on how to parent them, then maybe that would cause problems. I don't know. If you're a parent, please let me know because I don't have any kids, so this is just like kind of what I think. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But anyway, so this place is actually pretty small, I think. So you'll see that I have the kitchen, and then I wasn't quite sure where to put the dining room table. But it happens way too often that I just don't have a dining room table in my builds. So I wanted to make sure I had one. Besides, if a mom and her daughter lives here, then I feel like they would probably have one. And then I also have the living room in here too. It's pretty small. They could only have two love seats. I did try to fit a chair if you saw that a little bit ago. But it wasn't quite working because then it was too close to the dining room table. So I was like, nah, they don't need it. And then I do clutter up the top of this coffee table quite a bit. And when I was little, we had the coffee table kind of like this. Like it was really big and like boxy, but there wasn't any shelves or anything underneath. It was just completely empty. And from what I remember, it was always filled with stuff. We don't have a coffee table right now, but if we did, it would probably still be filled with a lot of stuff. So on here, I just put a bunch of stuff that just didn't really make sense. Like I put those Valentine's Day cards. Like I imagine that maybe at the time that Sims would be living here, it's probably like August, September, like way past February. but they still have the Valentine's Day cards on the table because no one has bothered to put them away or anything. And then over here, I just made sure that I had some matching blinds everywhere because I feel like if you live in an apartment or if you're renting a house or something, then things are probably going to match for the most part. I mean, I guess in the house that I live in right now, it's not matching, but that's because, well, one of our bedrooms didn't come with blinds or anything, or if they did, then they were broken. I was like 12, no, I was 14 when we moved in. Oh no, I was in 7th grade, I think. So that might have been like 13 or something like that. But so now that room has bright green curtains because when I was that age, I really liked bright green. Does not match anything in that room. But again, that's the thing that was going on in this apartment as well. And you'll see that I did put some random stuff on the walls because if you ever go to someone's house and like there's always memories associated with different wall decor and wall paintings and stuff. So I tried to incorporate that a little bit. And this apartment does not have a laundry room. And pretty much with all of my apartment renovations, I never put any laundry rooms just because I feel like a lot of apartments don't have laundry facilities in them. I know that there are some that do, but personally I have never lived in one of those. I wish I lived in one of those because that sounds amazing. In our first apartment we just had one laundry room that was shared with everyone, but it was only like 7 or 8 apartments, so it worked out. The next one, there was probably like 50 apartments with like 2 washers, 2 dryers, so that didn't really work out. And then in the apartment that I lived in my last year of college, we had one laundry room. I think it was 2 washers, 2 dryers. And there was like 9 apartments. So it wasn't too bad, except when the dryer broke or stuff like that. But anyways, in this room, this is the teenager's room. And it is fairly small. I feel like a lot of times when I start to build bedrooms and whatnot, I end up making them really, really big. But I feel like that's a little bit unrealistic. Like, I've never had, like, a super, super big room. I think the first room I ever had, like, it felt big, but also I was little. So, like, being smaller makes the room feel bigger, I guess. I don't know. I wish I could time travel and be a kid again. Like, I really want to experience that again. Like, do you guys feel like that? Maybe I'm just being weird. I don't know. But I did give the teenager a laptop because I feel like laptops are very important to have, or just computers in general. I say this in almost every of my speed builds. But I think especially for a teenager, like just judging from me being a teacher myself, like so many things are online. Like I remember when I was in high school, like we did use computers a lot, but now like literally everything is online. They have this thing called Google Classroom, and that's where teachers can post updates, post their assignments and everything, and they have like Dropboxes and everything. Like it's a really, really nice program and everything, but it makes it so literally you can post all of your assignments online. So nice, but also if you don't have a computer at home, then I can see how that could be a little bit tricky. But with that being said, I do think that my teenagers in my builds should have computers, or at least have a computer that they can use. And then I put this little nightstand side table on the side of the bed, and I have not seen it in that swatch. It's super, super pretty. I imagine that there are a couple of things in this bedroom that maybe this teenager has just had ever since she was like a little baby, or just as a child or something like that. I also imagine that this family does not have a whole lot of money. I imagine that the mom has a job like being a waitress or something. So something very, very small compared to like going to college and being like a business. Like I even, what jobs do you get in business? I don't know. I don't have any business major friends, but you get what I mean. So maybe the mom has had different jobs. Like maybe she worked at fast food. Maybe she worked in retail for a little bit, and now she's a waitress. And don't get me wrong, you can make pretty good money being a waitress. That's a job I had when I was in college. And if it was a busy day, I could walk out with like $120 just from tips alone. Given if when I worked in Idaho, I made like $4 an hour just working, which was very, very sucky. However, when I went to Washington, I could make like $11 or $12 an hour plus tips. So that was really nice. But unfortunately, I went to school in Idaho and we were right near the border. And actually, the restaurant that I worked at, it was like right on the border. Like if you're driving from Washington to Idaho, it's like the border and then there's a restaurant. So that wasn't very fun sometimes. But now I'm working on the mom's room, and I did want to incorporate the closet that or the wardrobe that we get from Get Together because I put it in the teenagers room, and I just feel like those type of closets are so like common in almost any house you're in. But unfortunately, this room was just a little bit too small and I couldn't fit it very well because I wanted the bed to be like in the middle because I feel like all adult beds should be like that, especially if she wanted to bring someone over or if she ever got a boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that. Then they should both be able to get into the bed easily and also so they can woohoo easily, I guess. And I just put some more random stuff over here. I also imagine that maybe the mom likes to take up painting in her spare time, so I put an easel up there just because I felt like it was fitting. And this is actually almost the end of this build. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone!